constructive comment. Not heard from you. Ah, Leah!
Make sure I do it good and then that.
Well, do positive and constructive. Okay. So,
I like that you kept your upper arm very still and you like worked more with your forearms. And then if you could like phrase more in the middle, like when it's like kind of like sweeter, because then like you make up a story, because then the audience can tell there's like something like that you think of, like they think of a story, you think of a story.
good point. Very good point. Okay. Aha! Go ahead, Grace.
I think your technique's excellent. However, I think you could put more emotion into your playing. So like the thinking.
Yeah, good. Okay, so I agree. That's what we're going to work on.
Usually I don't feel nervous until like right when I walk up, like I feel confident, like not like nervous beforehand, but right when I start.
You freaked out today? You did not sound like you freaked out today. You sounded fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would not have known. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing to be able to say. So, my dad used to say, I was like, oh, that's what it, you know. Didn't think that was funny at all. No, you don't get it. Okay, anyway. I'll talk to that. So he would say, I would say to him, I don't feel comfortable. And he said, well, honestly, most of the time when you're performing, you're probably not going to feel comfortable. And I said, I want to put the violin in this thing. Then he said, but honestly, like, when people sound too comfortable and they're playing, it's usually boring. Right? Part of what we like is like going to the amusement park and not doing any nice rides. You go there and you do the putt-putt boat. And you're watching everyone else over there on their roller coasters or doing this quilt. What is it? Swirl quilt? No. Tilt-a-whirl. Thank you. That's swirl, I said. Anyways, and so you just expect that, okay? Everyone, just expect you're not always going to feel comfortable when you perform. In fact, like I said, 80% of the time, you won't. And you sound like you are, like it's going to sound dead if you don't have something. Oh, Hillary Mann's story. I didn't witness this, but my friend told me about it. They were about to go play a concert together. And she's over at the wall doing this. Hillary Mann's doing that. And my friend's like, Hillary, what are you doing? She goes, I have so much excitement before performing. She did it again. That was her way of saying I'm nervous. You know, like that's what, so she was trying to like get the energy out. So I'm just saying, at every level we feel this. And that's why I think that's why we choose to be artists too, and performers, because there's something to that. Okay, so we were talking about how to not be nervous. So I'm talking about how to not be nervous in a destructive way. But know that we kind of accept that we have to have the nerves happen a little bit, because that's part of, we're putting ourselves out there in front of people, and there's a risk, you know? Are you okay? You sure? You want me to tickle you? Okay, and actually when I was over there, Jen, I don't think anyone should have their violins on the floor. No instruments on the floor. We've had issues in the past. The cello can stay there. But, okay, so that's my answer to the nerves thing. So what do we do? Well, again, you're going to make sure you practice it really a lot, you know, be as well prepared as you can, and then do more of it. And then also, so I think, is that a typical thing? Do you feel like you get there and then you're nervous? Or is that today?
Like hoping unless there's not very many people, like,
Okay.
like I'm just nervous in front of a lot.
Okay. So just get yourself in front of a lot of people. And what's going to happen? So here's the other thing. What are we actually nervous of? What is it we're afraid of?
People judging you.
Yes. And what else? Yeah. What else? That's it. Right?
Like how your reputation is going to be different.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's all this stuff like it's fear. It's like But honestly, I've played some pretty bad performances in my life, and I'm doing okay. I've done okay for myself. You know, Glenn, have you ever played a bad performance? Never.
As much as possible.
Svetlana, have you ever played a bad performance? Okay. Right, and you're doing pretty well, you guys, right? That's the point. We survive these things. And, okay, it's time for me to share my worst experience of performance. Yes. I am who I am because of it. I promise you that. So, I was doing okay. I was doing pretty good. I was at Curtis. I was the concertmaster of Curtis Orchestra. So, I'm thinking, hey, whatever. I decided to go take a sub audition for the Philadelphia Orchestra, right? And I have other people who are friends who are on the sub list. And I just found out this. Everything's tell you that part of the story. Okay, so I decided to do this, and I didn't prepare very well. I was like, oh, Don Juan, no problem. I can play metal. And I wasn't quite that flippant, right? I wasn't quite that silly about it. I'm exaggerating. But so I did take it seriously. But I got in there, and lo and behold, my knees didn't start actually shaking together. I'm hearing clack, clack, clack. And my bow must have been jumping like a million miles up. And it was a terrible audition. It was embarrassingly bad. Luckily, there was a screen up, meaning they couldn't see me. So my teacher was on the panel afterward, and I called her, or she called me, or whatever. We talked, and she's Japanese. She's really cute. Yumi, she said, Kim! Kim! Why did you not play this audition? And I said, I did. What number were you? And I said, whatever. 14. She goes, oh. Yeah, that's okay, I know. The personnel manager of the orchestra calls me and said, I regret to inform you that you were not selected for the sub list. And I just started laughing. I was like, of course I wasn't. Are you kidding? Okay, now, I make jokes about it. That was a really bad day of my life. I knew that I was not there. I hadn't done it, so I so on and so forth. And I felt all these ways. So from that day, I won 5 in a row at the Philadelphia Orchestra. Okay? Because I decided I wasn't going to feel that way again. Right? So what did I change? My preparation. Right? And that included getting out and performing in front of people. It included going and playing for people that terrified me, personally or professionally. Like, I remember playing for a couple, there's one person in particular that's just daylights out as a person and as a musician. Really great player. Can I play for you? He said, sure, that sounds great. When do you want to come over? And you say, yeah, you know. And so you do that. You put yourself in those situations because then they get all easier. They all get easier, right? So that's the thing. And everyone can gain from this. The fact that you shared that today is actually huge. Because that gave me an opportunity to say, you know what? That happens to all of us. This is normal. And so why do we torture ourselves? Is there a benefit on the other end of it? Okay, you answered that question really differently than I asked it, but I can see what you mean. Like, why do we put ourselves through that part of it? We don't need to. You're right, that part. I mean, like, I'm saying it's going to happen. Everyone in this room is going to have felt that happen at some point, right? Even whether we can shed it or not. But is it worth it to do that so that we can perform? Do you think so? Yeah, I think so. Right? Anyone here not think so? You think it's not worth it to actually put yourself through that? Because if so, you only have to practice 3 hours. Because you're probably not going to pursue it. If you want to really go into music, you need to be willing to say, I'm going to deal with this. I'm going to put up with that. Why? Because I love it when I finish the concert. I love it when I am in the midst of the concert and I have relaxed. And now suddenly I'm like, oh, this is gorgeous. I'm so glad I'm playing this piece. Or when you go to listen to someone else play a piece and you can actually understand, like, that's amazing. Not in a superficial way. You can understand it's amazing because you know it's amazing. Because you've tried to do that. Or you're hearing it a new way because they have a different way to say it, you know? All of that other understanding that we have, I think it's worth it. That's why I do this. And it seems like everyone in the room does. So that's the same thing then. Just realize nothing is fluffy and happy all the time that's worth doing. Okay? So, does that help? You're like, yes, ma'am. Okay, so, I thought you performed really well, too. Let's see what I said. I didn't actually write anything on your paper, so that's also a good sign. I have it there. Okay. What did I want to do? Do you realize that just to make you feel funny about what you you got nervous, that's the first thing I put anything about. you're playing, okay? Okay, let's do two things, okay? One is we're going to start from 44, and we're going to do it on our own first, okay? When you were here, you have such a great, I was complimenting your posture yesterday, and she has a great posture, don't you think? Right? Everything's really set there. Okay, when you got to this passage, suddenly you started the violin's going up and down all over the place, and I'm surprised you could keep it from doing like a Mendelssohn cadenza. So let's do this and keep your upper body still and just start moving your arm. Okay? Right. Good. It's already better. I'm going to be a little bit mean and I want you to do it entirely so that people can see what that looks like. Okay? So when you perform it, you can have some leeway to move. But can you do it where you don't move? It's just the bow arm. So many people do this. Right? Max, you were doing that for sure, right? Okay, I move a lot when I play, but I try to keep this part more steady. Okay, here we go. Same thing. That's good. Good, it's better. You're still moving, but that's okay. I said you can move a little bit. So I just want you to know that you are. Now, who wanted more expression? You two mentioned it. Oh, they said two. Okay, so even though this isn't one of the slow parts, the melodic sort of things that we're going to work on in a second, this can be more expressive as well. You need to do borrego, but it's not really borrego because that same thing. Okay, change it. Yes? Here's one more thing. Do you know where we're going with this? Can you show us? I mean, once I said to someone to do it physically, right? It was Allie. I said if we can see you change it, we will hear it change. With you, I actually mean I want to hear you, that you understand where those chords sound best. Okay? Here we go. That's it. That's interesting right now. Okay? Now, you want to join us? Let's go. Yeah, right on this side. Give her a nice big fat cue. Fluff the bow. Yes, you should. Okay, so close. I think you can do it even better, so I'm going to play it for you. So let's do the first one first. Are there any hard notes in here? Okay, I can do it. So we'll do the first one, which is piano dolce e tranquillo. Yeah, I can say that very well. Okay, ready? I'm going to do it for you. You get to listen. Okay, great. doing this way. It doesn't work. It's really hard to do that. Okay? Who has one really quick idea how she can make that sound more ethereal or more heavenly or something? You talk a lot. No, do you have a good idea?
Well, I was thinking move a little bit onto this side of the bowl.
Side of the hair, that's great. Fewer
And
hairs.
then smooth out the fingers a bit, sort of connect the bowls a little bit more.
Okay, what else? You sound like you have a whole list. Maybe the one I like the best is the side of the hair, okay? You do that with your wrist. And then honestly, you don't need to play gluey all of the time. A lot of the time, if you didn't play gluey at all, I'd be like, play in, dig in, whatever. But you do play in. So sometimes do here, like you have helium balloons on your arm. And just you're playing, floating along, okay? Last time. Here you go. Float. Balloons. Too soft. Play softer. So I love it when I'm playing a concert and I can feel everyone, I get so soft and I can feel everyone go. And then it's maybe there's a super beautiful face and they go. I love that even more. Okay, here we go. Softer than you're comfortable doing. Right? I was making Allie play louder than she's comfortable doing. I'm making you play softer than you're comfortable doing. Okay? So if that's it. You had a good idea there.